The act of walking with a tiny adjustment leads to a meditative state. It may not be as deep as a skillful Buddhist meditator that is sitting down in the lotus posture, but it is invaluable to keep the mind more quiet and to have a clear contact with true nature, with the divine. So what is this trick or adjustment that we have to do to our walking so that it allows us to experience walking as a meditation? It's pretty simple. You need to learn to let go or release your hips. The hips in the human body, when you are walking correctly, should be like pistons. They should be doing this, up and down. But for different reasons, including the concern about not looking feminized, we tend to rigidize the hips so that the walking happens with the hips like this. And this movement becomes completely removed from the walking. Men because they don't want to look feminine, women because they don't want to look overly sexy or provocative. And other reasons, because this movement of the hips, which is a natural movement, becomes suppressed, for example, due to sexual traumas or mental tension. So as we begin to fix this problem and we begin to release the hips, we create in the mind-body organism a very delightful relaxation. And that relaxation leads to open awareness or to restless awareness. Either way. Either way, you are much more in contact with true nature than in a state of hyper-focusing the attention into this or that or that. Open awareness is like opening, right? Hyper-focusing is what we normally do. Even when we are walking, we are hyper-focusing on a particular train of thoughts, or we're hyper-focusing on some particular sensory input. Open awareness is to do not fixate with anything. But the extraordinary thing is that when you begin to release the hips while walking, and the hips begin to move up and down and oscillate, the awareness tends to open up. Now, how can you solve the problem of not looking feminized or too sexy in the case of a woman or provocative? notice that male black people, especially athletes of a high rank, they have this natural and they do not look feminine. They walk with their feet slightly outward and it just looks normal and masculine. And their hips are moving up and down with grace and flexibility. And women can do this also without looking provocative. You can. Try in front of a mirror until you make it. When you go for a walk, you will notice that if you try to open the awareness immediately, you may not succeed. Awareness will contract again into some obsessive train of thoughts or whatever, or a particular sensation, and you won't be able to do it. But if you release the hips first, after a few meters doing this, you will notice that awareness opens up. So here is a very simple trick, a physical trick, something that you do on the body to help to open the awareness and to release the mental objects. Because in open awareness, in a way, you are releasing the mental objects and you are just there resting as open awareness. I'm going to demonstrate a little bit how this looks like. Hold on. These 2 points of the hips need to move up and down. Then you can train yourself in one spot to do this. Once you have trained yourself in one spot, then you transfer this to the walking. As you may have noticed, there is also a whole movement in the upper part of the body that accompanies the up and down movement of the hips, so that the upper body is also kind of swinging. And that is part of the reason why, when this is done correctly, you look at a male body walking in this way and you just have this sense that that individual is walking in a very relaxed manner, but it's not, has nothing to do with being feminine. And same a woman. The body moves in a very natural way and communicates relaxation, not sex appeal. In fact, I had the following strange experience with this way of walking. I was working in a clinic and I took a break and went to the streets to have a walk. And during that walk, a dog came towards me, barking and noticeably aggressive. And I was walking still towards him. So what I did was to change the pace and began to walk in the way that I just demonstrated, in a relaxed way, releasing the hips. And the minute I did that, the dog read my body language and realized that I was not a threat. He realized that I was relaxed, and I meant no harm to him. And it immediately stopped the barking and moved to another way. So remember, when you are doing this correctly, you are communicating relaxation, friendliness. But more important, this particular way of walking allows you to open up the focus of awareness, where you feel somewhat removed from the mental thinking and the emotions and feelings and all that stuff. It's like meditating while walking. And for those who are curious, I want to mention that this information about how to walk correctly from a human body perspective or a human anatomy perspective comes from the teachings of Feldenkrais, and you can research it. Feldenkrais was definitely a genius, and he made many contributions in the field of human movement and how to correct physical pain by modifying unhealthy habits we have, where we have moved away from natural human movements. So I hope this helps. Good luck to you with your experiments, and leave your comments down below. Bye.